Hello, and welcome to the Pandora monthly news service. Here, in our first installment, we take a look at what happened in November YC 123. Earlier in the month, a week-long campaign, led by Yene Fika of Unlimited 2.0, ended on the 10th of November. Aimed at focusing efforts of both the Minmatar and Galent militias on a combined front, intense fighting was seen throughout a number of specified systems. The campaign itself recognized those who landed the killing blow against pilots of the Amar militia. With 500,000 ISK being put forward for each killing blow, those in the top 3 ranks were offered different ships in recognition of their efforts. A Hurricane Fleet issue, a Stabber Fleet issue and a Republic Fleet Firetail were all on offer to those 3 respectively. On the 10th of November, as intense fighting raged throughout Dal, we caught up with Yene Fika while rearming at the Auger station prior to rejoining the fight. We asked Yene about the aims and purposes of his campaign as it reached its closing stages.
We noticed that the Amar militia prefer to fight concentrated in one area, bringing overwhelming firepower in numbers. To counter this, we encourage our pilots to push multiple systems at once. The purpose of this campaign was originally to continue applying pressure across the entire war zone with a focus on the 7 systems in the Yugiti constellation surrounding the Amar stronghold of Asset.
At the time of our interview, Dal was seeing the heaviest fighting in recent weeks, after seeing the campaign and Minmatar militia focus move into the area. We asked Yene how much resistance the Amar have given against the Minmatar forces.
When Minmatar militia pilots saw they were encountering almost no resistance in Dal, a system with a long history and of sentimental importance to one-member alliance, the decision was made to see if an around-the-clock push could be made to flip it quickly. When Dal reached around 75% contested, the Amar militia began actively defending it. Over the last 24 hours, it's been the most active system in LoSec with 106 kills in the last few hours alone.
We asked Yene to name the fleet commanders involved in his campaign.
Minmatar militia does not have designated FCs. Pilots are encouraged to take charge of the situation as it arises, organizing on the fly. Less experienced pilots will naturally follow more experience, but this allows newer members to gain experience and confidence in leading. Plus, when it comes to headshotting FCs, it's better to give than to receive.
Just 5 hours after this interview, through a joint Minmatar militia effort, Dal was once again in Minmatar hands. Following this, Yene immediately launched a further campaign to strike into the constellation of UGD. Gory Thane, Mike Malign and Alexbys were amongst the top 3 capsuleers involved. Shortly after, a siege was launched to reclaim Bosboga, which saw capital ships on the field. Revi Two-Hand, Gladwin and Harkin Thorson were notably involved in fleets lasting several days. In the early hours of the 19th of November, Bosboga was liberated and once again in the hands of the Minmatar Republic. With the recent Minmatar uprising and morale high within the Minmatar camp, Pol Maxleave has announced that the 17th of December will see the Minmatar Tribal Tournament return for its 7th coming. With several billion in ISK and ship prizes on offer, it's sure to be one of the most entertaining tournament events in recent memory. Eve Pandora will be in attendance to capture coverage of this event. We have official news from within Triad that a supply deal has been agreed upon by Det Res Prox to supply a number of assignments to Ren's 6 Moon 8 Brutor tribe treasury. When approached, here is what Det Res Prox had to say.
We have agreed with an undisclosed source to supply needed minerals to our contact in Ren. I will be making several orders for capsuleers to help supply these minerals in way of missions to help supply our demand. As each shipment comes through, we will hold the goods in rented cargo space for our contact until the time we are ready to hand over the minerals.
When asked who this contact is and what the materials would be used for, Det Res Prox was a little less forthcoming on the subject.
There is a demand to supply minerals for at least 100 thrashers and a number of other combat vessels from what I know. I can't go into details of who this is for, obviously. I mean, the last thing we want is for our deal to be undercut by some poacher who gets this information and for the details of why these vessels are being built.
Meanwhile, Res Prox has also set up an internal campaign within Triad for its members which runs every 2 weeks. Now in its 4th turn, the Top Gun Academy sees those within Triad being rewarded with ships and ISK for coming in the top 3 for killing their enemies during every 2-week period for each of these events. Flabast and Sparracus del Conte are amongst those who have been awarded several times during these events. And finally, Chapter Master Gavin Lockery and Chapter Master Shaker Kaisari of Pi have produced several works over recent years. We at Eve Pandora have come into possession of these chapters, which include as follows: Briefing on the State of the Empire, which gives information on the various entities and races of New Eden in accordance with Pi's principles. Excubatoris Chapter Recruitment Material, detailing Pi's mission statement, their oaths and agreements set from within. Imperial Symbolism and Pi, defining the symbolic meaning from within the Holy Scriptures. And lastly, God Does Not Forgive, outlaying 4 beliefs and the concept of slavery and how it is portrayed. These are essential readings and can be found on the Pi internal portal at evepandora.com. This concludes Eve Pandora Insider News for November YC 123. We will be back in early January with news and coverage for December campaigns, missions and significant insider news and events. If you have news you'd like to see, make sure to get in touch. Find us in channel Eve Pandora.